Heart full of pain, but I'm still the spark of the flame. They say if you talk of the town, and then they target your name. But I've been taught full of game, but I can't seem to make it out because my head full of strain. And as I'm thinking of it now, I notice most of the change, yeah. And lately I've been seeking out mass man who won't rent it with, they leave you bleeding out. And shit ain't about no money, really what the fuck we speaking about. Anyhow, talking about these flights and niggas leaving out. Gotta chase your dreams and fuck the people who believe in clout. Trying to live a different scene, but all these demons speaking out. Hit me out, whole different breed, fuck the easy route. Hitters pulling up like nurses, really get you seen about. Lately,
Black man, black fan, black woman. Welcome to Black Dad Code, where everything we do before family, but nothing before family. America, America, America. Once again, it's your favorite guy from Major High.
Kevin.
Charles.
All right, fellas. All right, it's good to see everybody today and everything.
Yeah, good to see
So tell me, what's going on and how you doing today? How's everybody doing today?
Doing good, man.
Doing great, doing great. We're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street. I always got to throw that in, put emphasis on that. But yeah, as you can see, everybody got these big jackets on. It's cold. We was 65 yesterday, and today now it's 25. So we're in the middle of the country though, and that's the way that, you know, I guess it flows around here. But in our community, especially in Tulsa, there's a lot of things going on, especially with young kids and everything. We're gonna get a little deep into that, you know. It was a couple that I've seen on the news that's kind of close to my heart, you know, because the father is married to my son Nico's cousin. Okay. So it's kind of, you know, it kind of hit home for me where, you know, they had a 12-year-old boy that's missing. It's been all throughout the news and everything. And it's been 2 years he's been missing. And I guess they didn't, you know, they probably didn't murdered the boy or whatever. You know, they was abusing all 4 or 5 kids that was in the home. And and what made it so ironic, they used to, I can't even say that, they used to come in the store and buy weed like wasn't shit wrong.
Yeah, act all normal.
Yeah, act all normal until the shit, you know, hit the fan. But we can get a little bit more involved, but that's what's going on in my neck of the woods.
Man, what about you, Kevin?
Man, same old, same old. Like I said too, I heard that story, Chuck, and I ain't gonna lie, it took me by surprise, man. That one really threw me back in. Kind of tugged on my heart, man, because it's sad to see that happen, and like I said too, just be in a point to where, like I said, the kids are getting abused, and you got kids being killed, and it's like, man, it's a terrible deal. But yeah, like I said too, I hated to hear that one. I really did hate to hear that one.
Yeah, that one touched home.
It touched with me too. I remember the first thing I thought about it was, and it's not to take a bash at women at all, because by no means me too, but I thought, you're not with the child's father for whatever reason. So I'm assuming you chose not to be with him because whatever he was on, you wasn't on, and you wanted better for yourself. But then you go get with a man that you would let abuse your children.
Right, exactly.
I just don't understand where that kind of thinking comes from.
I don't understand that. I don't understand people who put their hand on kids, period.
That's my biggest,
you know, that kind of, you know, with the pedophiles and the, you know, and abuse, just child abuse, period. But I guess, like they try to say in society, it's a cycle, because that person probably was abused by, you know what I'm saying? I don't get it. Yeah.
You know, we've talked in the past episodes before, me and you, about how when we grew up in our era, older women touching on us young boys and stuff like that. So now with us, we took it where I'm just saying, like you, it made me highly sexual. I had a bunch of girls.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I was a young boy teenager. Well, other young boys, teenagers playing for kids. I'm going the whole way.
Yeah, I'm going.
Shoot, I was a lot of girls in my community first.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, because, and I have to think that was a direct effect from that as a child age. So when we went and we was more promiscuous, I guess theirs reverses and they go back down to the kids, you know. But the thing with us also is, because I heard you say, and I remember when I came to the realization, like, yo, I can't be living like this.
Right, exactly.
I got to do something about this. This ain't correct.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if they got the capability of doing that or not.
No, and it stems back to mental issues. It's mental with everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have to look in on your kids, check on them, see what's going on, make sure, even in the schools and the special activities, to make sure that they're not, being, harassed by any, any form or any fashion. Yeah.
But I mean, like I said too, like with this platform and what we kind of do, it's like we need to kind of dive in and see the psychological, like you said, the psychological issue of like what this stuff does, like that. Just the long-going effects and stuff like that, and just be real
and
about
stop acting like it didn't happen, and be like, okay, we know these things happen. We're not gonna get into the bashing about it, but how do we move forward from it and start healing it?
It's always been like a closed door.
Yeah,
and like Chappelle even said, like, we get as weird Thanksgivings and Christmases and stuff. No one in the black community never, we don't really talk about it. All we get is weird, special holidays and stuff, and that's wrong. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, what did you guys think about that? What happened at Michigan State?
Oh man, that was.
Man, I'm always on that deal. Like, the mental health deal. It's a big deal, and like I said too, it's something more and more that people need to pay attention to, and just really kind of be aware of the feelings and everything that goes along with it. I hate to the point where people get to a point where they can't take it and you go take it out on other people. I can't. To me, I don't. If you feel like that and you want to go off, and like I said, by no means am I telling anybody to go kill themselves. But I am saying too, why harm other people that had nothing to do, nothing? And that's just, to me, it's just, you go kill innocent people, innocent kids, and it's just like, it's.
You know what has always got me about things like that is, because don't get me wrong, I'm gonna be 100. This been times, and especially in my young days when I had them L's and things like that.
That's
I wanted to go and get my revenge on the people who did that to me.
Right.
But I didn't take it out on people who had nothing to do with it.
People.
Innocent people. I wanted to go get the ones who did it.
Exactly.
And because I couldn't get them, then nobody got.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
I don't get how you don't do nothing to the people who do you to you. You go to do innocent people. Yeah. Like if you really that bowdy.
You go,
There's a lot of bowdy things you can run into and get all you want. And they're not innocent people.
That's true.
That's definitely true.
I've always questioned that too. Like,
so to me, there's a bit of cowardice with it.
It is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then the whole story hasn't really come out. They say he left a letter, but he did himself. At the end of the day, he put one in his, he killed himself. So we will never know what was going through his head, or if he had any relationships with any of those people, because all four of the people are dead now. So, and we'll never know. So,
have you ever been that angry about anything where you felt like I could do them and me, if it came down to it, or not necessarily kill yourself, but if I die in this, like? Have you ever been that angry before?
Yeah, I'm a black man. So in America.
I know I have. Right.
Yeah. So
have you ever been that angry before?
I mean, so here's the deal. Like, that's being the biggest deal, and that's one thing too. So as a black man, we are. I mean, I think a lot of us can get to the point where we can get completely stupid with it.
Yeah.
And I always say that too. But the deal is like, how do you kind of harness that? Because at the end of the day,
right? Like I said, I asked that for a reason. Because the reason is we all have been to that angry, but none of us have took it to the next level. We all sitting here because we didn't take it to the next level. So there's got to be That's the point I'm making. There's got to be control, self-control.
It ain't really just about me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I have kids to raise.
Right.
I still have kids. What would my sons think about that? What would my daughter think if I went out and did something like that? That affects them in the long run.
And then how would people treat them and relate with them and everything after that?
There's always going to be a stigma on them if something like that. And what shocked me is the statistic for this year, that we're only in like Valentine's Day. So, but the statistic is that it's been 67 mass shootings this year so far. 67.
I saw
that means it's probably two a day in this country. We're in a violent country.
Yes, very violent.
You know, and I know both sides are, you know, the left and the right are, you know, asking for gun control and stuff like this. I don't think, you know, that could be an issue because I don't want them to, you know, harm my Second Amendment because I'm a keep a thing with me. So just for protection, because there's too many idiots out here. You know, people going in, you know, supermarkets shooting them up. Just like they, you know, I know that's been in the news too about the guy who shot up the supermarket in Buffalo. He gets life without.
Yeah.
You know, that was, y'all need to stick something in his arm. Or like Trump said, we need to bring back the firing squad and make it live on television.
Not really. Yeah. Life without is really worse than shooting them.
Yeah.
Because when you shoot them, you over the sitting in there.
Yeah.
Like I said, because I had life sentences.
Right.
And I know the reality of that pressure on your back. And mine was a life and then another life after that.
Right.
But I still had hope because it was life that without is even another level.
So it's never, you
never can, because you have to get that without overturn.
But as us as taxpayers is still taking care of that person. So where's the
actually? That's the trick. They want you to believe that we're taking care of them.
But they all
But actually, they're making money off that person being in there way more than you're paying taxes.
Okay.
So therefore, that person is actually a ticket to them. So they're better off killing. I mean, leaving them alive than killing. They're gonna make way more money that way.
Yeah,
with what? Like what?
Because they get
media.
they get money and they get paid from the government by the population of the prisons.
Okay. Yeah.
They get money sent in. So say they say it costs $100 a day to take care of us, right? So for every prisoner, you get 365 days, $100.
Right.
But they only gonna give us $20 to take care of us, and they pocketing 80 on everybody.
Okay. All right.
I would say that because, like I said too, man, like, I mean, we got a lot of prisons, man. Prisons is a lucrative business. So
It's a stock.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a stock.
Yeah. So I mean, that's why I say that when he said that, I mean, it's I would.
But for that person living in there, let me tell you, the person who normally would do these, I see these dudes who do these shootings and things. They ain't beating up nothing in no fight.
Yeah. Oh, they not winning. They cowards.
No, you just being real. I mean, you look at them, and when you go behind the fences, and when you've done certain crimes, there's what's like a free reign on you. People can do whatever they want to you, no one to say nothing about it. Like if you're a child molester, they can do anything to you that they want to do and nobody will say that's wrong, right?
No,
now, when you hear that, you first say, okay, what does that really mean? That means that for the sick motherfuckers who really like doing sick shit, they get to do it now, and no one else will jump on. Because you know, when they doing sick shit, everybody else, oh hell no, they fuck them up. So they can't do it. But they can do it to the chomos. They can take out all of these sicknesses on a chomo or a mass shooter.
Everybody don't know that term. That's a prison term.
Child molester.
That we use in prison. Chomo,
yes.
You know, child
and also, if you kill kids, you know, so you want to mass shooter kill a bunch of kids, you get it too.
Gotcha.
So they're gonna be at the prey of all the sickos, because the sickos can do whatever they want to them, and no one will say nothing to them.
Oh no, I've seen it happen.
So that person's gonna either live the rest of their life being so abused it's ridiculous, or they're gonna be
somebody bitch,
right? Or
they fucked on, sucking dicks, all their whole life. Seriously.
Or they're gonna go into segregation and live in they self for the rest of their life and got to deal with the mental anguish of what they did in their own demon every day. And
most
that's
of them end up murdering themselves. Or slashing their wrists or something like that.
So there's no need to kill them. The situation gonna kill them.
The situation. Yep. The situation gonna kill them. And then what about that Super Bowl? What y'all think about the Super Bowl? Because we are. The Super Bowl.
You know, I hear a lot of the boy. What's the quarterback? Jalen. He played his ass off.
He played his butt off.
He played his ass off. And one thing I'll say too is you can't really blame that on him, man. He put up points. He did all he could. I feel like he outplayed Mahomes.
I'm gonna say what I saw in that Super Bowl. Jalen outplayed Mahomes But Andy Reid out-coached the Eagles coach. He out-coached them.
I was like, if it goes down to the wire, it's all about KC. Because Andy Reid is a better coach, and it's gonna, you know, and then that penalty at the end. It was kind of, you know,
tough, man. But you know, like I said, you always said.
But even before that, their defense had to stop them all damn day.
Yeah, exactly.
How you the number one defense in the league and you don't stop nobody? That's
the biggest
coaching.
thing that shocked me. I was like,
you was in the wrong place. You didn't get a second night. That means you was calling the wrong thing. Yeah. And then once you saw what you was running ain't working, when do you change it?
Hey, the Eagles had looked stout all throughout the playoffs, and then it was like they got to Super Bowl.
Yeah, they got there and just.
He got out-coached.
Yeah,
he got out-coached.
They studied some tape. They really
studied
some tape.
It kind of surprised me because KC ain't known for having a stout defense, and I mean, I just felt like they played a little bit better than the Eagles did. I mean, they didn't play just. I mean,
but when you think about it, Jalen scored like 28 on him, and he was fumbled one. He was going to score 35 on him. So they wasn't stopping him. Jalen did what he was supposed to do. Yeah. The Kansas City wasn't supposed to be scoring like they were scoring on the Eagles defense with this dude with a wobbly leg. He's supposed to get popped on that first quarter.
Oh man, that was crazy with that.
I will say. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that was crazy with him getting hurt on the sideline crying, and then after he go into the locker room, he come out like he's.
Well, you know that juice is amazing.
Like they cloned him or something.
That juice is amazing.
Gucci Man.
That
Kodak Black. They done made another like. Damn, is
that liquid PCP?
That's the same guy that went into the locker room crying. So it's just it was subject, and they talked about it in the news though that maybe he was on something, but hey, a win is a win. Yeah. And like Kelsey said, everybody counted them out. Yeah. He said it. Everybody, no one picked us to win, but we won it.
But I will say, too, I got to give KC the kudos because, man, they finally figured out how to play team ball. It's always been in the past where Mahomes have had to make some crazy-ass moves and throws and stuff like that. But honestly, like, he didn't play the best.
Right.
The team played. They played team ball.
Everybody played.
And the thing is, too, is that's what changed because they've never played like that before, and I think that's what
well, speaking about playing sports, Chuck, how's your son doing? Isn't your son playing?
Oh, they doing. I have a freshman at Booker T. Washington. That's a high school here in Tulsa. And as a freshman team, they went undefeated. Nice. They were 17-0, and then they won the ship at the last minute, but they didn't lose a game at all. Yeah. So, you know, but he plays freshman, JV, and varsity. And I didn't know until he told me this because we were at a JV game. That's the game before the varsity game. Yeah. I know people who play sports know that. And I was like, they could have won that game, but the coach was doing a lot of teaching, and he told them in the huddle. But us as parents in the stands was like, you know, what is he doing? But he was teaching kids, you know, how to, you know, get past certain situations and stuff like that. But no, he's doing well. He's a real, you know, he's a real smart kid. He loves the game. He's a general on the floor, and he, you know, he does his thing, and I'm proud of him. As a matter of fact, I don't, you know, we're not live or anything, but we're thinking about going live and streaming so y'all can call in and get, you know, questions and answers, comments, you know, Q&A. Yes. But they have a game tonight, you know, so I'm trying to rush up out of here and go see his game tonight on the varsity tip. He don't get that much run, but I'm going to sit there and watch him and wave at him on the bench. But he's just a freshman.
So what about your daughters? How's her volleyball coming?
Everything is coming along pretty well. Right now she's in Palm. You know, volleyball hasn't started yet, but she's in Palm. And she's going to Florida for the Nationals in March 2nd. They have the competition, I think March 2nd through 6th, where they have the competition where they do the Palm, you know, cheering and all that stuff. And then the last 2 days they get to go to, you know, Disney World, see Mickey and the rest of them. So that's, you know, me and my ex-wife, we're probably gonna fly out and, you know, enjoy the festivities and do, you know, for a couple of days and see what's going on there.
And Kevin, how's your kids? How they doing?
Man, doing good, man. So my stepdaughter Via, she's what's that? What they call it? It's the flag twirlers for the band. I forgot what it's called. What's the name?
Color guard.
Color guard. Yeah. So she decided she wanted to do color guard this year, and I'm happy for her because, man, I've been trying to push her to do certain things. She's like to dance, and did dance for a little bit, but we never really anything else with it, but this color guard deal, I can see she's kind of taking it serious. Broken Arrow's pretty serious about color guard and stuff like that for the band, because the band is super serious. And so she told me about that her first day home. So, but she has a flag already, and she's been practicing, and I could tell that she's serious about it, because like she made a comment to me about her grades, and she was like, they don't like dealing with people who don't have good grades, and so like she came in, brought me all her grades, and she had hundreds on this and 90s on this, and so like I'm like, man, I liked it. I like to hear that. And so it's that push. So glad that she's doing that, found something she's like. And little man, he's just learning every day, learning ABCs, and every day he comes in, man, he's teaching me something he learned at school. So
that's cool.
Kelly,
they can't wait to do that, though.
Man, they can't wait to do that. Yesterday, and it was fun to just kind of hear them interact. So
yeah, that's my little buddy there. He said, "That's my friend."
Yeah, man, he loves some Kels, man.
Tell us how Amira's doing in volleyball and how she's doing it.
She's doing pretty good. They just wrapped up a season, and I'm gonna have her play one more season before trials start in April, May for the junior varsity. She's way better than she was last year. Nice. She's actually playing now. So we get to serve up a little bit more. I think she has a good chance of making the volleyball team this year.
Tall, man.
So right.
Tall.
Yeah.
She's tall,
but she's going to the ground, getting digs and bringing them up, going down on the knees now and all. So
no, I was looking at a photo of y'all that y'all took, I think, on Valentine's Day. She down there taller than you. I'm like, man, she got you already?
No, she ain't got me, but she almost.
But her mom is tall.
Yeah.
Her mom was tall. So I was like, she's gonna get him. She's gonna be dunking on him in a minute.
Barbecue chicken.
Oh, God, got me a body.
She can't do that though, because we go out. Dad still got the diesel, you know. You put the chest to it. Boom. Yeah. You ain't getting nowhere.
And so moving back, getting off the sports things and everything, about the business aspect, in y'all business, how does that help take care of the family and so forth and so on?
Well, we're Major High LLC. We're a commercial medical marijuana grower. We sell to dispensaries. We sell to processors. And we don't sell direct to patients, but we wholesale. Right. We grow some of our own strains. We grow strains from other people. Right. And we make medicine. Yeah. We also have Major High Apparel, as you can see. Right. We have our different clothing that we do, and then Black Dad Swag. So we're our own business owners. Black Dad Code, right. We're our own business owners, and we're building something so we could pass down to our children. Yeah. Our parents didn't have anything to pass down to us. Right. But they raised us in a way where we was now positioned to where we can have something to pass down. Yeah. What do you think, Kevin?
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing. It's just, being able to have that black ownership, and there's something that we can call ours. I never had anything that I could look at and say, oh, that's me. And so this is just something too, like you said too, that we could pass down. And then like you said too, with Black Dad Code, it's just, man, we really trying to just inform people, and just like I said too, just bring the knowledge. And so that's the biggest thing. So like I said too, with us, it's just a movement of trying to make sure too that we can pass on all our knowledge.
That's right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And we do have a vote coming up here real soon, like March 7th in Oklahoma, where if we want to get if medical marijuana or marijuana recreational, if you want it to go recreational, go out and vote. The early voting started like March 2nd and 3rd, and the big vote is like March 7th. It's a special election. So if you want that to be, if you not want to be able to get a card, you just want to be 21, go in and purchase that, go out and vote. Yeah.
Your vote could get you some Major High.
Some Major High.
Where's that Major? So go to the Greenwood Dispensary and get you some Major High. Yeah. But first you got to go vote. First you got to go vote. If you ain't got no medical card, you got to vote.
You got to vote.
But if you vote, you can tote.
Yeah. Vote, you can tote. There it is. Yeah. He always coming up with catchphrases and stuff like that. You need to start copywriting all this shit for somebody to rip it off. Yeah.
All right. So, Chuck, can you tell us about your business and how it supports your family?
Well, we have a couple of businesses, say 4, you know, to be exact. And then we have a couple of dispensaries, a smoke shop. We have an entertainment section of the business as well. So what we do is, as a family, I try to employ like nephew, nieces, cousins. We try to keep it all, you know, in the bloodline or whatever. If you need a job, you've been laid off one of your jobs, you can probably come to us and get a job. And that kind of helps my family in a whole, because when we get together, like we just had a Super Bowl party right here in this facility where we're filming at right now, which is the Man Cave, but it's a bar that my family has at, you know, our property or whatever. But we get together as a whole, you know, eat, drink, you know, have fun. And what we do at the shops, that help us kind of fuel what we, you know, what the other ventures that we like to get into. You know, like I spoke, we have 2 locations of Green Room Dispensary, you know, a north location, the east location, and we're thinking about doing a 3rd, but we're in talks with some people to go into partnership with a south location, but that's nothing, it's nothing set in stone right now. And then we have a smoke shop, then we have our entertainment where you know, I have a lot of young sons, nephews who want to get into the hip-hop game, which is a hard game to get into, but that helps fuel that. You know, we're going out to LA in March, have a show with Spice One, Little Xan, who else? The Franchise Boys, you know, some of the guys that kind of lean on the weed aspect. Then in April, we with Cypress Hill and Nocturnal and them and stuff like that. Just kind of, we try to get on the weed circuit. That helps our brand kind of move forward. That's it. And it helps support the kids and do whatever, you know, do what they need.
And it's good things. They're learning already how to come together as a family and make money and support themselves. So then those things is passed down. Right. And as more and more generations do it, better and better it becomes. Yeah. So that's true. So that's true. Passing down a legacy.
And we always try to tell them that any thought you have, any business that you want to, you know, get involved with, come on, shoot it to me and see what you got. You know, come with a plan. You know what I'm saying? Come with a business plan. Let me know what you're thinking about. You know, we always try to throw that confidence in them to try to, and that's one of our songs too, Confidence. So, but we always try to throw that confidence in them to try to, you know, be yourselves and be entrepreneurs. Like, you know,
yeah, it's 100% exactly. Shots you don't take. So I mean,
that's right.
Well, I'm gonna throw it into a stat. So Chuck, I'm gonna ask you, what percentage do you think of black fathers are in the home compared to other races?
I would say, I would give it a good 35% probably.
35. Kelly got the answer, so
Kelly got stats.
He got stats, so I'm gonna say.
We talked before the camera started.
Yeah. So you think 35?
I'm saying 35, 40.
Okay. I will say, because here's the deal. I know there's a stigmatization, so I feel like it's a little bit higher than what the normal would say. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna kick it at 42.
42.
42. I'm gonna give it a. Yeah,
okay.
Put it at 42.
And he's the statistician, so.
And it's funny, Kevin hit it on the head.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
2-parent households where the father's in the house.
Yeah.
2 parents. It's 42% in the black community.
Yeah.
But in all other communities, it's 70% of the household.
70. Well, so does that mean?
That means that 70% of all the other races have 2 parents in the house, but only 42% of our race has 2 parents in the house.
Okay.
And I'm not saying.
Oh, so you're saying like even Caucasians?
Yeah. Caucasians, Indians, Asians, everybody else is at, together make up 70%. Okay. And us as a whole, right? Together. Together. So but you look at all of their numbers, their numbers are going to be way bigger than ours. Right. So for them to have 70% with more numbers, that means there's way more of them, married and
so that doesn't
2 parents in the house.
That doesn't get broke down as a race.
Ratio,
like how many Asians
it does, but this is one of the things that they don't take into account, right? And that hurts us in this number is when they count two parents households, they count them by married.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of our households are just coinciding.
Got you.
See, that's the trick. That's a skew. That's why I wanted to bring that up, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't take it to so. But it also shows that other races marry more than we do.
We do.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, we cohabitate.
We coexist.
Yeah, we coexist, but they actually marry.
Got you.
And so that's why it looks like there's way less households.
And that makes,
there's two other stats that was pretty alarming though. 7% of our children don't live with neither parent.
7%?
Yes.
So are they in foster care?
Right. Grandmother or something, you know, not their parent.
Yeah.
Where with all the other races, it's only 4%.
4%.
It's not with at least one parent.
Okay.
So there's way more of us without parents too.
Gotcha.
But here's a stat for Black Dad Code that's going to shock you, ladies.
Okay.
Again, I'm not trying to throw stones. I'm just putting it out there. 5% of single dads come from the black community, and everybody else only 4%. So there's more black single dads than any other race.
Okay.
That's taking care of their kids.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's Black Dad Code.
Black Dad Code. Black Dad Code. Yeah, that's real. Yeah.
So let me ask you this, Kelly.
Yes.
What race has the most absent fathers?
Unfortunately, the most absent fathers is us.
Yeah.
We got kudos and now we damn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And here it is though. Here's the breakdown though. And what's number one is the black community, and number two, and it's terrible because we in Oklahoma, is the Native American community.
Really?
Oh, wow.
They're the second worst at not having fathers.
So what's
in
the
the
top?
households.
Well, I know what's the top two? I mean,
the top are the Asians.
oh, okay.
The
Well, I
Asians-
can see that, man.
yes.
I mean,
and then
I can see that.
white Americans.
Right.
It's the worst is African Americans, Native Americans, Pacific Islanders.
Okay.
Really?
Yes.
No, they didn't really reach there, didn't they?
Right.
Just
Latinos.
Oh, they're going farther down the list.
Then white, and then Asian.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
So, and if you look into the success of the races, you can see the success of the Asian community.
Yeah, that's why
And so you can see
How does that work? Is that like the Polish who knock on your door and be like, hey, how many people live there?
No, what they're looking at is they're looking at, again, marriage certificates.
Right. Oh,
And stuff at family register, because when you register your kid and you put both parents are married and on the birth certificate, they're looking at that. When we don't have that, then you can't put that on there when you go in the hospital.
Okay.
So it's like skewed a little bit, but it's
skewed.
not.
Yeah. Okay. So what race has the most single parents?
The most single parents, again, is the black community.
Okay.
However,
Is it like by far? I mean, is it a vast number? Is it something that is just
the numbers here, give me 1 second here.
statistician got?
The stats that got stuck.
He should have had this already together.
Yeah, I should have had
We're
all my.
spending money here.
Yes. But no, okay. Here it is. Our numbers is, and this was done in 2021. I'm getting the numbers back, so it has changed 2 years ago. With 49%.
49%.
Was us the worst, and the best actually is 24%.
Wow.
And so, something that comes to mind to me on this one where it says the single parents, and Chuck, we talked about that too,
Right.
where you would say you were there in instances, but like I said too, like
I'm
you
not there 'cause
had
it's
to
not on the
hide.
paperwork.
Exactly. So it's like
Yeah.
on that deal,
You have to hide.
so it's like
To get support.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But it's still, that goes back, I think a lot of those statistics that you have there is systemic.
yeah.
It's
Yes.
systemic. They have to realize we can't keep pointing the finger though, and I'm not pointing the finger, but they have been, for years tearing it down. But we're here to build it back up. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to build it back up. We're not going to point the fingers. So those statistics we're going to change in the long run.
Yeah. And this is one of the things I want to say too. It shows 21% of white fathers live apart from at least one of their children. And this number rises to 35% among Hispanics, and then it rises to 44% of us among African Americans that live with at least one of their children.
But who's making the statistics?
This statistics was raised by...
If I was the leader of the shit, I would make the statistics. I would favor me at every corner.
And that is a point.
No, it's us. We're doing the most.
And then a lot of it too is because we're the largest numbers incarcerated. So if you got the majority of the men incarcerated, of course it's going to be then the majority of kids, families without a father there.
Right, exactly. We understand that. But here soon the roles are going to be they're going to be changing, with the abortion situations and so forth and so on.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. So what percentage of white families have single parents?
The white families with single fathers is 21%.
21%?
Yes, 21%.
Okay.
So they're technically more involved. And also that has a lot to do with too, though, is not... Just being real, the white women gonna go to court. They're gonna go file. They're gonna get the lawyer. They're gonna file child support. They're gonna do all of that at the gate. So Dad really though he ain't got no choice. Especially if he got a good job and all of that career, you gonna
But the most part, when they do that, you have, especially here in Oklahoma, you have the opportunity to be like, hey, let's do partial. You know what I'm saying? So that lowers the child support, and so forth and so on. Or let me have, like you have, sole custody. Well, let me have sole custody. But that's when it becomes a battle between it becomes a battle between the man and the woman, and that gets the kid involved and stuff. Instead of going to that middle ground where we can, we can do 3 days or 3.5 days apiece, and and settle at the medical insurance.
Sometimes it's not that easy.
No, it's not that easy.
I mean, like I said, I hate that you say. I mean, it's like theoretically, it seems like it would be easier, but it's like it never comes. It never comes that easy.
Because it's too much pain and revenge involved,
revenge and anger and
because some people stop thinking about the kids and just want revenge, want vengeance.
Right.
And that's not healthy for the kid. Yeah.
So I would say too, if you're in a position like that, I always put the kid first, because at the end of the day, the kid's the one that suffer from it. So
and they remember everything.
Yeah.
Point blank. Once they get older, they remember everything. Yeah.
So Kels, what percent of violent crimes are fatherless?
80%.
Oh wow.
80%.
80% of violent crimes are fatherless. And when I read that's why I was like, whoa.
Wow.
That's a crazy statistic.
Yeah. 80%. Wow.
That's that anger, that's that hurt, that's that abuse. Because the dad does so much more than just fathering. The dad protects, the dad guides, the dad does. Because if you're a young boy without no dad or no older brothers, sometimes you can go through hell if you're in the wrong community.
There's no navigation. There's no
navigation.
Yeah. So you
right. You sure right. You sure right. Yeah. Because then people start bullying you and stuff.
Right.
You almost become the outcast.
Right. Or you become extra to
protect yourself.
Right. And that anger and that rage comes out in the wrong way, and there goes the violent crime.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we led back to that incident in Michigan. That could have been the case there. But no, I thought I heard his father speak, so.
Yeah, I thought I'd heard something like they said he had got mad or something. Yeah, or he was angry when his mother passed away. But I did something like his father speak, but I don't know what the relationship was either though. So I can't speak on that. So
ever since his mom died, he went into some kind of funk, and that
I thought I
that
heard
ruined
that,
it for everyone else. Yeah.
So Kelly, let me ask you this: so how common are single dads?
Unfortunately, that's very common nowadays.
What is?
Single dads. The ideology of marriage is greatly decreasing with these younger generations.
I mean, let's talk about that because that in itself.
And our generation.
Yeah, I mean,
our generation, everybody get divorced.
So I think in our generation we have the highest divorce, and now people are just like,
why even do it?
Yeah.
I see y'all are divorced. You know, what's one of my cousins told me he's been with his girlfriend like for over 20-something years.
Right.
But their son is 20-something years old.
Yeah.
He's in college and everything. And I said, cuz, why you don't get married? He said, everybody I saw was getting along perfect, and then when they got married, they got divorced. I'm not getting divorced, and my relationship is perfect because we're not getting married.
Do y'all think, because we've all been married, or you're married now, Kev, so do you think after you do the I do's, things change?
well, man, I think the biggest deal with marriage, and this is just being completely honest, you really do kind of you got to put yourself second almost, because especially if you got kids, and then you do have to kind of just do what's needed for the family. Now, I'm not saying that you just need to completely forget about yourself and become, but still too, you engulf yourself in what's going on with your wife, your spouse, your family. And I mean, sometimes that could be a little difficult. I mean, because I know, like I said to you, I always say to you, me and my wife were together, because we were together for 5 years before I actually said I do. You know, I was kind of in that state where I was like, man, I don't know if I want to do that again, man. Right. I already got burnt by the iron. I was like, but it's like,
I'm gonna dip my feet back in.
But then I looked at it too, man. It's like, that's not really fair to her. She didn't have nothing to do with that, and you know, at the end of the day, like, I shouldn't take that out on her, and she should be. And even though I told her, I said, hey, even if we get married, nothing's gonna change. But she wanted to get married. She wanted to feel that experience. But like I said, too, there's a lot of things too where people you do have to really, when you get married, man, you put a lot of stuff that you go on to the side, and it's for the betterment of us. So I think that's one thing too that people got to realize is that when you say I do, you're committing to the unity of your partner and you. So you kind of got to let your own ideals kind of subside, and like I said too, you got to put us over you. So, and that's just one thing too. Right now, it's a me. It's me, and I get it. So like I get it. If you are in that aspect, you probably shouldn't get it at the time. But I mean, when you do find that person, you feel like that. This is the
thing, though, and this is just my perspective, and it's what made me stay in my marriage as long as I did. I wouldn't have ended my marriage if she didn't end it because of this reason. Whenever you get with anybody, you got to go through things with that person. So, and you got to go through issues, you got to go through adjustments, you got to learn them. You're going to have their problems, they're going to have their crap. They got all great stuff, but they're going to have crappy stuff too. Just like everybody. And that's everybody.
And I don't care if you
everybody got baggage. So, why would you break up the nucleus of your family to go get more baggage with someone else? Now, if there's abuse, if there's infidelity, those are things that destroy a marriage. But because I don't like you, or you're not affectionate enough, or you're not this and not that, those are things you get over.
You can grow.
You grow, you develop, because when you separate that family, and I'm experiencing it now, and I know my ex is experiencing it now.
Right.
Your family's torn apart now.
It's
ripped.
Yeah.
You're not with your kid every day.
Right.
I want to wake up with my daughter every day in the bed and see her and do everything with her. And I'm fortunate enough to have sole custody, and I do that now. But I ain't gonna lie, there is a sadness knowing her mother's not there enjoying this too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That this is supposed to be, once you make a family, you're supposed to go through everything. Like I said, nothing before family. Nothing. Even if it means your own happiness, whatever, you got to sacrifice yourself.
Right.
You know, I could be ripping and running around now, but I can't rip and run around. I got a child to take care of. She's going to be grown here soon, and she's going to be on her own. I'm going to have plenty of time to rip and run then. Right. Until that happens, though, it's about her. It's sacrifice.
And as you said, the sacrifice. So, and that's the thing, too. So, like, and Kelly's speaking to it perfectly. So, but there is a sacrifice there. But like I said, too, it's not bad. I mean, that's one thing, too. Like, dealing with stuff with a partner, dealing with issues, and you got somebody to lean on, man, that's better than trying to deal with shit on your own. You know, sometimes, like I said, trying to deal with stuff on your own it's rough, and it's rough. And I mean, unfortunately, we get through it. We've learned we tweaked ourselves to say, hey, I can get through it. But man, it's so much damn easy if you got a partner that's taking up that rock with you, and yeah. So, but like I said, trying to do it on your own, man, it's rough. And it's a lot of people do it, and hey, but like I said, it's a hell of a lot easier when you got somebody to pick that rock.
And also it strains the family, and it strains the children.
Mm-hmm. And so, Kelly, what do you think the percentage of single black mothers are?
The percentage of single black mothers is actually 64%.
64%. Wow.
And then 42% Latino, and then non-white Hispanic is 24%.
I don't get that.
Single
non-white
Hispanics. So those are, I guess, white people, German people, Jewish people.
Yeah. So they group them all together.
Yes.
Okay.
Non-white Hispanics.
I'm still thinking this. You know me, but it's
I think that's who that is. I don't even know. Yeah, because I don't know what's a non-white Hispanic.
Don't ask me. You don't get me lying.
But is that a black Hispanic?
Don't get me lying.
You never know. You never know with that out the window.
But again, if you have all of these single mothers, largest in our community, and you see the other communities have less, and our community is struggling, we know then that's an issue that needs to be fixed, which is why Black Dad Code has been started.
Yeah, but it's always been like a stigma, or that the fathers are not around, and it's always, especially, you know, like we just spoke of the Super Bowl and stuff and everything. Hey, Mom, thanks. I love you, Mom. It's never, but when the dad steps into the picture, it's something different. Just like with the, say, Lonzo and them daddy, you know, say with Ja Daddy, when they be voiceful and love their kids and speak, you know, speak life really into these kids. It's a problem, and that shouldn't be a problem.
But because like, and that's one thing too. Like, and it's funny that you say that, because they did kind of paint Lonzo about like he was doing too much. Yeah. But man, at the end of the day, that man was promoting his kids to the fullest.
Right, promote your kids to the fullest. That's what you're supposed to do.
Honestly, man, like what that man has done for his kids, like, hey man, that's like a that
should be the model.
That should be the model.
That should be the model.
Like,
I mean, that's one of the things I noticed and I hated about sports and entertainment. That's how they took our great black dads and then made them villains, like the Jackson 5 dad. You know, he's the villain. Exactly. He beat us and that. No. He took them kids into
beat
stardom.
The shit out of me, Joe. Yeah. If you gonna turn me into a fucking the best fucking pop star or whatever you were, beat the shit out of me. Because you didn't kill me.
They get beat for other things that don't have nothing to do with greatness. Or like Serena and them's dad. Serena's dad. He took all kind of abuse and everything in Compton to go out there and have his kids and do all of that, and now he's like he's an outcast. So they always find a way to try to kick the dad out of the scene. Where if it wasn't for the dad's tenacious attitude about whatever he was doing, the kids wouldn't have got to that point.
No. Yeah. But like I said too, like we just got to be smart about that, because like I said too, I mean, like I said, with Lonzo, I mean with the daddy, like I said too, I saw how they was painting that narrative, but then I was like, man, these boys is, I mean, he's doing everything. He had it planned out. Right. And all them boys have been highly successful.
He invested in his children.
So,
that's a Black Dad Code. Invest in your children. Invest in your children. That's a Black Dad Code.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah. A dad code, period.
Dad code, period. Yes. Invest in your children.
Yeah. So what is something that goes against, because I'm on down the line, what goes against Black Dad Code in this situation? Say, let's talk about like in
not
the sports
sacrificing your desires, being selfish, and not putting your kids' desires first.
Right.
I would agree with that, man.
Because you've lived your life.
Right.
And that's
and it's only temporary.
It's
so many years, for someone who did time, I understand time now, and it moves on.
Yeah,
but it's only a temporary time, because once they become a teenager, trust me, they on their own. You can go and then you can start doing your life.
Yeah, they give 3 folks. They just want some money.
Right, Cash App, keep it moving.
Hard, keep it moving. How's it going? I'm good. What about you?
Right, it's a small sacrifice, and it goes away so quick, and then you can't wait for them to have grandkids so you can do it again.
Yeah, you can do it again. Exactly.
But then, like you said too, if you don't, like I said too, you're selfish during that time, and you miss that time, it's like you'll never forgive yourself for that. I mean, once you get older, you'll never forgive yourself for that. So. Or either,
people who don't feel that, they don't not forgive themselves because they never felt it to begin with. But what they don't realize is the joys they missing by not having them bonds.
Right.
And they spend their whole life looking for happiness and joys, and they really had the things that could have brought them the most joy, but they couldn't recognize it.
Got you. Good point. Good point.
That's real. I like that. That's real.
I feel you.
That's real. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I see that. That's my situation.
Yeah, exactly.
She looking for everything else to make her happy, and don't realize you had the best thing. You had your family,
you had the joy,
good company, good career, good lifestyle. That was the joy.
That was the joy. That was the joy. Thought the grass was greener. It was mildew.
No, it wasn't mildew. It was AstroTurf.
Yeah.
It was green. It was AstroTurf. Ain't nothing growing up out of that. Artificial. All right. So, Chuck, close the statement.
Closing statement. Like this segment, we touched on, we touched on a lot of different things, but the closing thoughts for me is gonna be like, it has to always be the mental. The check on the mental, man. Even if they playing sports, if they out there and playing with their friends, going to parties, clubs, because I have older kids that's in the club and stuff like that. And you always got to check on their mental. I always check on them. Like, you made it home safe, what y'all got going? Well, how late did y'all stay out? Why y'all stay out so late? And you still, but they're grown men, but you still like, after a certain hour, it's a lot of stuff going on out there. And I don't want to have to get a phone call saying, so kind of stick together and stay out of those circles where it's a lot of, BS going on. So my closing thoughts would be like, stay out of the BS, man. You don't need it. Walk away. Yeah.
Kevin, closing remarks?
Man, I think, you saying I think the word sacrifice is big for me, and I think that's just something that kind of sticks in my head. Like I said too, Black Dad Code, I think is a lot of what we kind of talks about the sacrifice. And I think the biggest thing too is like having that sacrifice for your kids, your family, and anybody that's in your circle. So I think with that, like I said too, if you're not doing that, you might want to take a look at that and just kind of make sure to just reevaluate. Because sacrificing for your kids and your family, it goes a long way and it helps improve the kids and kind of what they're going through too. So that's one thing too. I'll stick with the word sacrifice because I feel like it just it resonated with me today. So.
And you, Kelly?
My closing remark would be invest in your children. Put their needs before your needs. Because if you put their needs before your needs, you really put your needs first.
Right.
Because you live on through your children and your children's children and their children.
Bloodline.
The bloodline. Exactly. And that's how it continues on. And the fact that we are here, we are the living bloodline of those who came before us.
Right.
And knowing everything they went through to keep that bloodline alive. Like my family's from Lynchburg, Virginia.
Right.
Lynchburg. So you tell you what it is. Lynchburg. They lynching. It's the Lynchburg. So for my family to survive through that, they was tough. They was strong. They was together. And they passed that in me. So now I can't get weak.
Right.
And water down the bloodline. And how you water down your bloodline is not being real, not investing in it.
Invest in your bloodline.
Invest in your bloodline. Don't water it down. That'd be my closing remarks.
It's a good close.
Black man, black fan, black woman. Thank you for watching Black Dad Code, where everything we do before family, nothing before family. On the next episode, we'll be interviewing Mr. Kenyatta Terry. Black Dad Code.
See ya.
Water on me, big nigga. Did what they wanted. They said they wanted to party, nigga. Soon we walk down in this bitch, nigga. This shit getting started. Fuck with some OG, they show with they 40s. Bitch on the shit and they talking about 40. Nigga, you a rat, but your ass ain't shit. Talking about telling no stories. You stump on a nigga and all white poison, hot guns in the money, cause I can't endorse it. I can't. Nigga, I'm hot, bitch, I'm over here scorching. Big dogs in, they passing the torches. Remember we slept in the 40. Now trying to get me a sporty. Double red, ain't never no shorty.